Boss, I have a question for you. Are you currently unemployed? Are you currently barely making ends meet? Are you having financial difficulties right now? If you are and you want to apply for a PenFed credit card, I want you to stick around because I'm going to share with you PenFed credit cards when you are unemployed or barely making ends meet. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation, I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to share with you PenFed credit cards PenFed credit card hacks when you are unemployed or barely making ends meet. Okay, so here are the steps, and we have a proper formula for you, the proper code you need to apply. First thing first, check your FICO score. If you are jobless, your FICO score better be good. Okay, make sure you have a decent FICO score, because the whole thing is, you can be working around and telling PenFed, hey, listen, I don't have a job and my FICO score is bad also. No, boss, this ain't working. Okay, if you are jobless, you want to make sure that your FICO score is actually decent, more than decent actually. And the whole thing is, you want to reduce your expenses. Okay, you want to reduce your credit utilization ratio, you want to reduce your DTI, you want to live within your means. Because remember, when you are in financial straits, you have to understand that you have to actually adapt your expenses. Very important. Okay, so when we talk about FICO score, what do? Well, first thing, you got to check your FICO score for accuracy. Yeah, you got to check your credit reports for accuracy. You can go to annualcreditreport.com, and we talk about Credit Karma also, which is a great source of information about your credit score. Okay, and always make sure that you always pay your credit accounts on time. So if you're jobless, you're probably making some money, okay, or you're barely making ends meet, you're probably making some money. Now, that money is not a lot, but again, you want to always make sure that you live within your means, and you always pay your credit cards and loans, if you do have them, on time, all the time, boss. Okay, and think about lowering your credit utilization ratio. I've spoken about that before. The whole thing is, when you have a reduction in your income, you have to adapt. Things happen. Been there, done that. Okay, things happen. Life is not a straight path. Things happen. You can have some kind of convoluted path sometimes. It's okay. Don't actually be desperate. Don't despair. Okay. The whole thing here is that you got to actually recalibrate your strategy. Okay. And so when you lower your credit utilization ratio, you're in a better position to make sure that you increase your FICO score. Okay. If you have some credit accounts that have been sent to collections, start thinking about them. Start thinking about renegotiating with those collections agencies. Okay, and if you can, optimize your account age. In other words, lengthen your credit history. You want to optimize your credit mix. You want to have the right kind of credit accounts on your file, and reduce the number of credit inquiries. This will help you improve your FICO score, so that PenFed can have they will be more comfortable to approve you. The second thing you need to do, you need to convince PenFed staff that you are actively looking for work. Okay, in other words, if you're jobless and your ass is sitting all the time at home on the couch, you become a couch potato, always watching games and watching movies, whatever, you're not going to get the credit card. You ain't getting it. Okay, let me tell you straight, this is just something we have seen over again, and I'm talking to you about things that I have seen, that we have seen our team in the last 30 years, boss. 30 years. So you need to show PenFed, hey, listen, I may be jobless right now, but my ass is looking for work actively, not just sporadically, not just once in a while. No, I am actively looking for work. So that, hey, listen, and you have to talk to them about that in a very confident way. Now, how do you actually find a job, and how do you make sure that you convince PenFed that you are looking for work? Well, the thing here is, you have to show them proof of networking. Okay, because when you think about networking, it's known as the hidden job market, because many of the best jobs are never advertised. So, boss, I want your ass to start networking right now. I want your ass to think about referrals. Talk about people in your vicinity, in your private circle. Okay, talk about, you can go to job, you can look at job boards and career websites. Okay, what about job fairs? Yeah, and you gotta have proof. See, the thing is, you're not doing this for me. You're doing this for the PenFed credit card officer. You are doing all this, and you are documenting everything. I went to a job fair in Maryland last month. I went to a job fair in Connecticut this month. I went to whatever. Like, you gotta really document all that, okay? And also look for work on companies' websites. You can do some cold calling too if you're good at that. You can call a company, cold call a company and say, listen, I have experience and I'm available for work. Okay, you can work with headhunters and recruiters also. Okay, and also consider temping or doing some internship. Some internships are actually paid. If you're able to land a paid internship, that's kind of cool also, because then you are having some revenue coming every month or every quarter or every 2 weeks or every week. Okay, so I'm just giving you a constellation of things you can actually use to actually satisfy the job search thing. Okay, this is really important, and the whole thing is, you want to tell the PenFed credit card rep that, hey, listen, again, I'm not employed right now, but I'm not sitting home and just waiting for the next paycheck or the next unemployment paycheck. No, I am busting my ass to make sure that I get the job ASAP. The third thing you need to do is think about liquidity. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is that you need to maintain a reasonable level of cash. Okay, do some side gigs in the meantime. You don't have a job, okay, but a lot of things you can do. A lot of things you can do. You can tutor online. You can actually walk dogs. You can do some babysitting. You can do there's a lot of things you can do. The funny thing is, I don't care if you have a PhD in accounting or PhD in ecology, whatever. If you don't have work right now, take any job. In the meantime, all you got to do is survive. You got to bring some money home. You got to put some food on the table for your family and for yourself, boss. Okay, don't you just be arrogant and like, I ain't doing this job, I ain't doing that job, start being picky. What's up with that? You got to stop that. If you're in a situation, you have to be humble enough to understand the ins and outs of your situation and adapt. Okay, and adaptation, for that matter, is not a bad thing, is it? Boy. It's kind of funny. Some people are so full of themselves. They're like, you know what? I ain't doing that job. I ain't doing that job. Boss, are you in that category? If you're in that category, I want you to stop that. I want you to take any job that you can and always be grateful for the opportunity to take a job. Because you know what? It's not a bad thing. You can take a job for 1 month, but while going to work, you are able to continue your job search. Okay, and so that will help you maintain a reasonable level of cash. Okay, and you can think about, when we talk about cash flows in general, you need to get a grip on your cash flows. Okay, you need to reduce variable and or living expenses. That's what I told you. I spoke to you earlier about when I said, hey, listen, you want to reduce your living patterns, your spending patterns. Okay, boss. Do you have rental income right now? Because you don't have a job. Okay, that's fine. But, some people have a rental income. Oh, yeah. They have investment income. They're getting dividends and interest. See, the whole thing is that jobless doesn't mean that no income. Jobless doesn't mean that you have no revenue. Okay. And one thing I want to say also, you can start a business or side hustle. I said this before, but you never know. Sometimes unemployment is a great opportunity to start a new side hustle. Oh yeah. My point is what? My point is, everything is possible. Everything is possible, but the whole thing is, you need to maintain a reasonable level of cash. Now I want to talk to you about PenFed NPR. Again, folks, I want to contextualize the conversation. What are we talking about? We're talking about PenFed credit card hacks when you are jobless or barely making ends meet. Okay, so that's the scenario that I'm talking to you today about. So you need to try to maintain a positive relationship with PenFed. Okay, no overdraft, please. No overdrafts. Hey, listen, boss, are you currently having overdrafts? Have you had overdrafts in the past? I want you to stop that. I want you to stop that. I want your ass to stop that. Hey, listen. Hey, sis, hey, over here, look at me, look at me. Are you having a history of non-sufficient funds with your PenFed accounts? I want you to stop that, because the whole thing is we need to actually have a relationship banking process with PenFed. Okay, we need to, when we talk about PenFed MPR, multi-product relationship, we are speaking about relationship banking. We are speaking about building a relationship and buttressing that relationship and solidifying that relationship and strengthening that relationship over time. We are speaking about building a relationship with the people, with the actual people working at PenFed. I'm not talking about building a relationship with the institution. Who cares? You got four walls. You have a big building, whatever. No, I'm talking about the real people. The real people. They need to know you. They need to actually understand. They have to understand your financial situation. If you're out of work, they need to know. Okay, you know what? This person is out of work right now, but she's fighting or he's fighting. She's trying to get another job. And so when we talk about building a PenFed MPR, by the way, if you are unemployed and you want to get a PenFed credit card, it's better to have the MPR. I'm not saying that you cannot qualify for a credit card if you don't have the MPR, but it really helps. It helps big time, okay? So we talk about having a checking account. Preferably, you want to go for the Access America account. You want to talk about having a savings account. Again, it doesn't matter if you have $5 in the savings account. At least you have two accounts with them, okay? Two accounts is important. Two is a great number. It's a sweet number with the PenFed. Now, minimum two though, okay? Checking account and savings account. And then if you have extra cash, you can open a CD, a certificate of deposit. You can open an MMA, a money market account. You can also think about opening an IRA, because you got to think about the next generation. You got to think about your retirement. You got to think about leaving something for your kids or family, okay? So open an individual retirement account, because that's what I care about too. I care about you actually living right now, but also living when you are retired. Now we got to talk about the card selection. Boss, I'm still talking to you about PenFed credit card hacks when you are unemployed or barely making ends meet. So you need to select the card that fits your specific needs. This will improve your odds of approval. Very important. So when we talk about PenFed, we have 4 credit cards, okay? 4 main credit cards. So we are speaking about the Gold Visa card. So this is a card that you actually want to use if you're looking for, let's say you're looking for a low APR, okay, card. And because the card has 0% introductory APR on purchases in the first 15 months after account opening. So this card is great if you are looking for a low APR credit card. And then we have the Power Cash Rewards Visa Signature Card. So this is a card that allows you to actually get cash back. Okay, so if you're looking for a cashback card, that's kind of cool. You can actually apply for this card. The card has 2% cash back on all purchases if you're a PenFed Honors Advantage member, which you should be anyway, by opening an Access America checking account, okay? Or you get 1.5% cash back on all purchases, okay? You also get a $100 bonus statement credit when you spend $1,500 in the first 90 days, okay? So this card is great also. And then you have the Platinum Rewards Visa Signature Card. This card is great if you are trying to get some rewards, you are trying to get some points, and you are looking for points in the traveling and transportation sectors. Okay, in other words, you have 5x points on gas paid at the pump and EV charging stations. Okay, 3x points at the supermarket, including most Target or Walmart locations, restaurants, and TV, radio, cable, streaming services. And you have 1x points on all other purchases. Okay, and you have 15,000 bonus points when you spend $1,500 in the first 90 days. Okay, and the last card I want to talk to you about, that's the PenFed Pathfinder Rewards Visa Signature Card. And this card actually they actually grant you 50,000 bonus points when you spend 3,000 in the first 90 days. Now, this card is great if you are a travel aficionado, if you love traveling. If you love traveling, that's kind of cool, okay? You want to go for this card. So bottom line is what? You need to have the right card. You need to select the right card that you want to apply for, okay? It's very important. We call that card fitness. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you about PenFed credit card hacks when you are unemployed or barely making ends meet. Okay, now we want to talk about pre-qualification. Okay, Grandpa, are you there? Oh yeah, I'm talking to you about pre-qualification. Are you the one who applies all the time for a PenFed credit card without pre-qualification? If you are that type, I want you to stop right now, because you know what? It's funny. I mean, I go nuts. I go crazy when I hear people actually applying for a PenFed credit card without pre-qualification. You know, because it's not worth it. You want to wait for that pre-qual link, that pre-qual offer. Okay, so see if you can pre-qualify for the card. Okay, and when I'm talking about pre-qualification, I'm talking about pre-screen offers via the mail. Check to see if you pre-qualify, if you are pre-qualified online. You can go directly to the issuer. In this case, you want to go to a PenFed branch and ask them if you can pre-qualify for a credit card. Okay, so it's really important to understand that, hey, listen, the whole idea is not to apply for a PenFed credit card randomly. No, we got to stop the word randomly from our credit card application process. Okay, we're not random people. We are winners. We are victors. Okay, and we actually adapt a code. We adapt logic when we apply for a PenFed credit card, no matter what. And we are proud doing it. We are really proud doing it. You know what? Because credit is a game. I've said this before, and our team has talked about this on many shows. Credit is a game, and I want you to be a better player. And being a better player means that you are waiting for the right chance for qualification. You're not applying randomly. You are waiting for a pre-qualification link in the mail, pre-qualification offer in the mail. Okay, and how do you boost your chances of scoring a pre-qualified credit card offer? Well, pay on time. You want to pay on time. You want to keep card balances low. Okay, you want to check your credit reports to make sure that there are no derogatory items on that credit score, on that credit report rather. Okay, improve your credit with more accessible products. You want to have a mixed credit history. In other words, you are having a loan, a credit card, a line of credit, an auto loan, and whatnot. Okay, diversity is good. Diversity is always good anyway, but it's good here in credit. Okay, and you want to update your income. I mean, when was the last time you had some income? How much did you have? Make sure at least that number is accurate. Now I want to talk to you about branch RSVP. You need to actually go to the nearest PenFed branch if possible. If not, I want you to inquire over the phone. If you are unemployed or barely making ends meet, boss, never apply online. Your ass will be denied. Never apply online, okay? It's really important. I mean, I'm giving you a very dope piece of advice. Never apply online, okay? Bring your paperwork. You know, listen, simply because you're unemployed doesn't mean that you're less of a credit-worthy applicant. No, be proud. I'm telling you, I want you to be proud. I want you to have confidence. You want to bring your paperwork. What are your paperwork? Well, your last W-2s, your last 1099s, your tax returns for the last 2 or 3 years, okay? And what I said earlier, you need to bring proof of you searching for work and that you actually are increasing your odds of landing a job real soon. Now, simply bringing your proof of looking for work is not going to qualify you. Okay, that's why I said earlier, you want to look for side gigs. You want to do little jobs on the side. You want to work at McDonald's. You want to do things. I mean, I'm talking about, let's say you have a master's degree and you're out of work right now. Well, do something that you will not do professionally, but do it just to bring income. So PenFed is going to look at your employability, but also in your income. Okay. And you want to bring your resume. When I talk about bringing paperwork, bring your proof of income, bring your resume, okay? Ask any questions beforehand. If you have any question, I want you to have a real conversation with the PenFed rep. Okay, ask any question about your approval odds. Yeah, because through the conversation, you can gauge your approval odds, and that's what we want anyway. I mean, that's what I want for you. Okay, so hey, listen, if I apply for this card, maybe they'll just approve me or not approve me. That way you don't risk 10 points off your credit score anyway, right? And so the whole thing is getting intel about the proper timing. Okay, so you apply for the PenFed credit card at the right time. And you'll never do this if you don't have the info. Information is power. And whatever way you can actually get that info, you need to get it. Because the whole thing is, we do not apply for a credit card or loan randomly. We have a code, we have a process, we have a certain routine that we follow to apply. And when we follow that code, when we follow that formula, we always win. Always win. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about PenFed credit card hacks when you are unemployed or barely making ends meet. So I spoke to you about your FICO score. I spoke to you about your job search. I spoke to you about your liquidity, the PenFed NPR, the card selection, the pre-qualification, and last but not the least, branch RSVP. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.